I wanted to find somewhere that had scenery that would do justice to the subject that I wanted to talk about today. And I think on this nice, crisp January day, I may have just found that spot. I'm going to start off by saying feel free to share this video. Feel free to comment, give me a thumbs up, and if you so choose, subscribe to my channel. Now I want to get on to what I actually wanted to talk about. I actually scripted what I wanted to say, and I typed it up and spent a lot of time doing that, but we'll see if I'll do it. It's getting chilly. Well, it's getting close to 5 on the 26th of January 2018. And I actually drove to where I'm at because I recently actually found this area and I actually really like it. Wouldn't mind having a place close by. I was just thinking, let's get rid of the uhs where I'm thinking on doing my videos. I this morning was surfing the internet and came across an advertised link for photos, and the image that came up was what I ended up finding people searching for: girl on Porsche with Polaroid. And it was one of those where it has several photos and it goes through and it has a little bit about each one. And I did that, and then I was doing something else, and it got me thinking about it. So I opened my browser again and I went searching for the photo. I remember that it had said who the photographer was. However, I didn't remember the photographer's name. I was reading several different images, information, so the one didn't really stick. Pardon me. After, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes of searching, I ended up finding on a site. After doing the searching, I did find out that the photographer was Kate Bellm. Finding the name led me for search for more information about Kate Bellm, which landed me on katebellm.com. I spent a couple hours there looking at the images that are there. Really enjoyed that. I ended up wanting to learn more, and so I did a search for Kate Bellm, and I found them listed on Artsy as having a solo exhibition at Lamb's Art in London, Night Sky Rising, a solo exposition, ran from the 23rd of November 2017 until the 13th of January 2018. That was just under 2 weeks ago that it ended. I did notice on the site that there were prints available. But back to the image, the girl in a Porsche with a Polaroid. It struck me as being a good photo, and when I searched for it again, I found a statement similar to what I had originally seen when I first saw the image. And on frank151.com, I found the statement, what seemed to be the same thing as what was under the original photograph in that 14 or 15 image advertised link. And on frank151.com, it said, a relatively modern photograph This image has rapidly become a phenomenon online for its study of the female form and that of the curves of the iconic Porsche 911 car. Taken by Kate Bellm, the photographer often photographs women to show their strength and beauty in all its magnificent incarnations. With the classic version of the Porsche 911 and the subject holding a Polaroid camera, many assume this image is far older than it actually is. Nonetheless, it has rapidly become iconic. That was from frank151.com's site. I believe I quoted it correctly. Now back to me finding katebellm.com. I was amazed. The home page, the image that's there, I mean, it just grabs you. Mousing over the links, the text links at the bottom of the page, there's a bar, and the images change, and it says the name of where that link takes you. While I was looking at the different images, I'm sure my jaw dropped. Figuratively, if not literally, though. I think literally it may have actually happened. I spent 2 or more hours perusing the site, and in doing so found out that the name given to the series with the, and I did search this, 1971, or at least that's what I came up with when I searched for the car, 911, holding the Polaroid camera, is listed on the commercial link, the first top left link after you click on that, and that link is called Lika Mimika. Sorry for mispronunciation and my tongue not wanting to say it. Since the photographic images on that site are basically the subject, or at least, well, the main subject, or part of the main subject of this video, did anybody notice, if they happened to see that girl on the 911 Porsche with the Polaroid, did anybody happen to notice the NASA sticker in the side window of the car? Okay, this is actually a trick question. The side window of the car isn't shown. All you see is barely a little bit of trim. But at the bottom corner of the rear window on the car, there is a NASA sticker. Back to Kate's World. Really cool mouse over animation, by the way, if you do that on the top right of katebellm.com on the website. The website is very interesting and informative piece. There are a lot of photos on the site. I personally like several. Pardon me. A lot of the ones I liked were due to content of the photos. Girls. However, I was also attracted to several other photos. The photos that were in part included in the recent exhibition at Lamb's Art in London. Night Sky Rising, in fact. And these were the acid landscapes. When you click on the personal link, it's the top left. Of these images, there are a few that really caught my attention. One of the, in the acid landscape section, is because it was a flower. I actually like flowers and take a lot of photos of them myself, or have in the past. The one numbered 13 of 173 in the list. Also, one I noticed as being available, that image was being available as a print on the Lamb's Art site that's available. There was also the one numbered 3 of 173, Middle East, that shows an aerial view of mountaintops surrounded by fog or clouds. Next on the list is at number 20 of 173. I think the reason I like this photo is it's black and white. And the shadow definitely adds depth and definition. I've always liked black and white images and the way they look. Moving on to the last one that I'm going to mention from the acid landscapes It's numbered 31 of 173. And the reason this photo stands out is most likely the coloring and the fact that to me it appears to be of an erotic nature due to shapes, colors, lighting, textures. The list, I'm sure, could go on and on. Back to why I'm doing this video. Yes, there is a reason, I think. Amazing. I actually read that right off what I typed. I was, I must say, very impressed by everything about the image of the photograph of the girl leaning on the Porsche with the Polaroid as if she's taking a photo of the photographer. The cactus in the background, the little things like the NASA sticker on the window of the car, the European, I believe British license plate, the lighting in the background, everything about that photograph struck me as impressive. And I was impressed enough to go searching for the photographer to learn more about them. I wanted to look at other works by the photographer, and I wanted to get to know the photographer by looking at their work. I have always been interested in photography. It's somewhat of a hobby. I've actually been carrying this Nikon Coolpix that I'm using right now in my pocket for 5 or 6 years. A lot of times I forget to grab it. However, I've found that doing the videos, it has the best audio and video quality of any of the cameras that I have. None of them are really expensive, but I do have several. I like restart. I actually like taking photographs, and I've noticed that since I started this YouTube channel that I look at things more in terms of videography and moving pictures or a camera moving over an image to show a moving picture. I noticed the other day I actually took a few photos, and when I was looking at them later on the computer, I thought about it and how much I would have done it differently had I been doing a video. And then while I was thinking that, I was thinking how much I've changed my own personal perspective because of the fact that I've been doing video instead of still photos. I'd just like to say, well, there were several nudes I was impressed with on bellm.com. I like the landscapes and the underwater world enough to take the time to actually make the script to do the video from. I've also been thinking about what I wanted to have as the content while I was doing this, and I wanted something that would show the color of where I'm at while I'm somewhat reading and using this as a cue. There is a shadow right there that just stands out, that little area right there. This whole area is beautiful color. The variation, the sky again, the red against the sky, the green against the red, everything about it, the grays. If I zoom out here, the sand that's here at right where I'm set with the camera. But this was a consideration where I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to be in this area. I'd actually originally planned to be somewhere a few, maybe 5 miles from where I decided to actually set up. I was just driving and saw this little dirt or, well, sand strip leave the paved road. And even with the two-wheel drive truck, I decided I'm going to take it. And I went far enough that I decided not to go any further. Anybody who has watched any of my videos knows that I'm broke. Still am. And while I would love to be able to purchase some of the prints of the photographs that were listed on Lamb's Art's site, I can't do that, but I can try to make other people aware of not only the image that caught my attention, but the person, the photographer who took that photograph. And besides the showing of what was available, I did find interesting on the Lamb's Art site the press release. If you look at the show, or the page for Kate Bellm's show that just ended, as well as the overview, which can be found just below the top on towards the right side, which gave more background on the photographer, the artist, the creator that is Kate Bellm. Thank you for allowing myself and so many others the opportunity to view your artistic photography and showing us a bit about yourself through your creativity and your chosen medium, Kate Bellm. I honestly enjoyed looking at your photographs. They reminded me of something I was told when I was first learning photography. And that thing was something Bill, the person who actually loaned me a camera and let me begin taking photos, said was the difference between a good photographer and a bad photographer is a good photographer knows which photos to keep and which ones to throw away, or at least not show. Thanks again, Kate Bellm, for your photographic art. Or is it artistic photography? Either way, a big thanks is in order for your creativeness. Perhaps someday